What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker Podcast. I'm Nick Baker. Across from me, Shane Good.
What's Gucci?
And we are here to talk to you about some video games. First thing, Happy New Year. We're in 2020 now, baby.
Dude, we are in 2020.
Think of all the crazy games that are about to come out.
I mean, it's kind of like looking at all the crazy games that are about to come out. It's just amazing. And then we have this week.
Yeah, and then this week is completely barren. But, yeah, we're gonna kick off some great games here in like 2, I think, with Kakarot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like the 17th, I think. What's today? The 5th.
The 5th.
So yeah, like almost 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, even though it's gonna be kind of like a Xenoverse knockoff with numbers, like we talked about before. But
Xenoverse knockoff with numbers. So you're telling me it's Xenoverse 3?
Yeah, sort of, but except it's
Kakarot.
I guess the story beats are going to be better done, and they're going to be more faithful to the anime, and they're going to add things, canon things, apparently.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting. But anyway, well, let's start the show. What have you been playing, man?
So I have I've literally just been playing Path of Exiles. I found the new build. I like to call it my currency printing build.
Yeah.
So I know you don't play Path of Exiles.
Oh, I got like a little bit of a crash course last week when you showed me all the skill trees.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot. So I started playing something called a Darkness Runner. So in Path of Exiles, like different leagues have brought in different mechanics into the game, and some of them have stayed, some of them have gone. Delve is one of them that was stayed. The Delve League, I think it was like 6 leagues ago or 5 leagues ago or something like that. Basically, it's an endless dungeon that you can keep walking through, but you need sulfite to power your machine. The machine gives you a light that you can follow. So it kind of it's a light in the darkness. Once you go into the darkness, you take stacks of damage, and you can only be in the darkness for so long, usually. So what I have is a darkness farmer where basically what I do is I just run around in the darkness. In the darkness, there's a ton of really, really good loot. I wouldn't say it's an issue, but basically they made it so when you go into what they call a node, which is like a kind of a transfer point between like one loot point to another loot point, you can run in between them, and all the loot that's in the side areas will respawn if you don't break any walls, any fractured walls, which are special walls that hide like, I guess, higher tier loot. So basically what I've done is I've taken a massive route, and then I just run the route without using any sulfite, which would cost money to generate. And I just find currency. Like, literally just find currency.
Damn.
And
so just, like, heaps and heaps of money?
Like, I know you don't know, like, the money exchange, but
right.
I made, like, 12x in a day. And previous to in the entire league, I've made maybe 5x total in
so
3 weeks.
You're just breaking the game at this point.
I'm literally breaking the game at this point.
Very nice.
So that's fun.
That's
playing?
very PC gamer of you, my man.
Yeah, well,
I'm on the other end of things. Obviously, I'm grinding away at some Battlefield on PS4. I've been playing that a lot.
Oh yeah. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe I'll play that with you at some point.
Yeah, I noticed you got a copy of that.
I did.
And it took like 100 hours to download.
It took like 13 hours, literally from 12 to 12 or like 12 to 1 at night.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. Working through the Tides of War right now. The gun that we're gonna get this week is the Type 27. It's like a submachine gun / AK looking weapon for the medic class.
Okay.
And it has one of the fastest fire rates of any of the guns in the game, and it looks awesome.
So like a Mac 10 in Call of Duty back in the day.
Well, I mean it's like a Mac 10 if a Mac 10 actually had accuracy.
Oh, wow, it has accuracy?
Oh, yeah,
I assumed with a fast fire rate, it just, like...
Oh, no.
It fucking took a climb to the ceiling.
You'll get dotted, man. It's crazy. I've been killed by this gun more in the last few days than I've been killed by any other gun in Battlefield, I think. Like,
damn, everybody.
I can probably go back and think of some guns that just completely ruin guys constantly, but shotguns being a big deterrent for me. But yeah, this thing's a major game changer. I think it's going to change the meta for medic weapons for sure, because a lot of people were kind of like myself stuck on like the MP40. I love the MP40. It's such a good all-around gun.
It's a pretty solid gun.
But yeah, I think this is going to be the next MP40. So
nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been playing some Civ 6, getting into that. I finally won one of my games. I did like a full match, 500 turns.
Yup.
And did pretty well. I won a score victory. So
nice. Now
the chump way out.
Did you and Shay play out that game that you guys were talking about yet? Because Shay was telling me Friday night that you guys were in some sort of war, or you just had a war, and it was like super stressful for her.
Yeah, she got behind the 8 ball because she decided to, or no, somebody decided to declare war on her because she took some of their territory, and she didn't quite understand like what that actually meant. So then I'd say like turn 100, which is pretty early on, considerably in that game.
Super early on.
She just got bombarded, and we were playing as allies, so that means I went to war too. And
right.
I was a little bit further ahead, so I just sent all of my samurai warriors north to help her, and I was left completely defenseless down in my area. So I mean, it was tough for me for a little while, and I think that game kind of bogged down just because we weren't able to get building. We were just constantly fighting. It was like maybe 150 turns of a war.
Holy shit.
It was so long. It's so long.
It sounds like almost like a game of Risk there.
It was so bad. But yeah, a lot of fun. Both those games. Really hitting my stride with Battlefield again, though. I'm feeling really good. Getting back in. Really good KDs. Winning a lot of games. And me and Anthony have just been slaying it on there. So
nice.
Yeah. On to the big topic of this podcast that is probably going to run a little short, but yeah, what's our game of the decade? Because everybody's talking about this.
It's true.
Our decade just ended. It's 2020 now. We're moving on. But first, we reflected last week on some of the games that we love, but what is our game for the last 10 years? What was that game that you played maybe even in 2010 that stuck with you all the way to 2020?
Are you ready?
I'm pretty sure I'm ready.
All right. It was like a hard think at first, and then it was like, oh no, this has to be it. Minecraft.
That's a good one.
And that's a good one. They've literally been updating it this entire time, so it's made it consistent to play. But I think the reason why I continuously go back to it, and I've thousands of hours in that game, is because of the modding community is just so strong. There's always somebody working on something new, and every time something new and crazy comes out, it's another 100 hours. It's another 150 hours of playing Minecraft with my friends. And I mean, I'm really like tech mods, so like it's all about, for us, it's always about like automation, like fucking. I don't want to do anything but sit and watch numbers grow.
Yeah, man, and that is, I mean, where does that fit in with Minecraft? Is there like, I suppose, resources?
Oh, dude. Okay, so
you have to learn me a little bit, because obviously I've only played like 10 minutes of Minecraft while I was drunk.
That's fair. Penthouse.
Yeah.
So modding, like once you start getting into like tech and mod and stuff like that, you have like automated mining machines. You have like automated mining machines. You'll have machines that can pull ores out of like the void. You'll have multiple different like Minecraft realms that you can pull ores out of. You have like tree farms that essentially like they function completely by themselves. You have regular farms that will function completely by themselves, and then you have what's called the ME system, or the applied energistic system as well. with Ender IO, and essentially what it is it allows you to also big reactors is really fun. It allows you to big reactors is exactly what it sounds. It's a nuclear reactor. To be careful, it'll explode. You'll fucking die, and everybody will laugh at you.
All right, and then there'll be a giant crater because that's how Minecraft works.
100% have done that and made giant craters by accident.
Oh my God.
I've crashed games because the reactor exploded and it just fucking...
That was going to be one of my next things. Is one of the biggest things that I remember about Minecraft was that everybody was pushing the envelope, seeing how far they could push it, and the one guy that just filled his whole world with explosives and tried to break his game, and it just crashed. Hard. It was fun to watch, and I think it's Minecraft for me is just one of those games that is more entertaining to watch than to actually play myself.
I just think you haven't played the right.
Maybe I just haven't played with the right people, and that I mean. It goes back to Borderlands 3 earlier this year. Everybody loved that game.
Yeah.
It didn't quite hit for me, but I tried it again over the holiday season like I said I was going to, and it clicked a little bit because I was playing with a few of my good friends. And
right.
Yeah. You know.
Definitely different. I would love to see you play Sky Factory. Sky Factory is Minecraft, but it literally, so at the start of the game, you get a book, and it has all of your goals. Everything that you need to achieve in the game is there. You start out in the void. There's no take a normal Minecraft and throw it out the window. There is no world. You create the world. You start on a block of dirt with a tree, and that's it. You take the wood from the tree. You make a little platform. You plant another tree from the seeds that you get from breaking down the tree. And from there, you do everything. You have to wait till it rains to get water. You have to make clay pots so you can start to make crucibles. You have and it's very task oriented. You always see what's next in sight, and it's more of a quest progression system.
Right. Yeah. That does seem a lot more appealing to me. Just having an idea set of things to do. But you know what almost got me into that and almost got me a PC? Was that Pixelmon? When
Pixelmon? It's actually, they just made a new one.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting. I was like, wow, they really fleshed this game out in a way that kind of got me more interested in that kind of a game than the actual Minecraft version. But, you know, as for myself,
I was gonna say
game of the decade. I'm gonna have to go with The Witcher 3.
I kind of thought you would,
dude. The Witcher 3. I thought about it for a second, and I was like, oh, The Last of Us. I really loved The Last of Us, but I've only played it twice now, and I love the game, but the replayability has kind of run its course for me.
Yep.
As far as I'll probably play it once in a while just to refresh my memory. But second one's coming out soon. Can't wait. But The Witcher 3, man, I'm still playing that game. I still haven't beat the DLC. I'm chipping away constantly from the very get-go. I finished the main campaign before any of the DLC came out, and then I went back into it when the DLC came out, started from scratch, finished the game, started the DLC, and that's where I'm at now on my second playthrough. And every once in a while I'll just drop off a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll realize, wow, why did I ever leave? This game's so great. The loot and the armor, everything feels so necessary when you get it. Whether or not it's something that you're able to use, you can sell it. You can get rid of it. You can have more currency to buy, create more crazy Witcher gear. It's the storyline for that game also was one that kind of has to grow on you, because if you don't know the characters from the previous games, I'm one of those people that didn't play 1 and 2.
Yeah,
so I've
never played 1 and 2 either.
I had no previous context for who Geralt was, who Ciri was, who any of the characters in the game were. So the way that game kind of, it doesn't necessarily tell you who these people are, but they kind of introduce them in a way that's new, but Geralt's known them for so long, and you kind of get that feeling too. He knows them, but you don't, and you're being introduced to them through him. And
right.
So say Yennefer, who is his Geralt's long love interest, and he has multiple throughout the series apparently, but that's like his main love interest. You get the idea that at the very beginning of the game, the very opening shot is him in a bathtub and she's over brushing her hair, and you get that they're connected in a way, but you don't know who she is. You know she's important. And if I didn't know that there were games before this, like if I had just gone in cold and like, oh, this is The Witcher, I would have been like, all right, who's this woman? Like, let's get... I needed no previous context to know that she was that important, even though there was so much that had already happened that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it made me want to go and look into all those things, even the novels that they're based on.
Well, now it's got that Netflix TV show, too.
Yeah, and that's a hit. I can't wait to start watching that. I'm finishing up The Mandalorian, so I can. But yeah, man, that game really kind of changed how I approach RPGs now, because they need to meet a certain echelon. And if they don't meet at least that Witcher echelon, or close to it,
I wonder why you didn't like Outer Worlds.
Yeah, it was in that. Maybe that is it's like it's so tough for me to get into those games with like light RPG elements. If you're just dipping your toes in the water, sometimes it's just not enough, and you gotta really dive in and
you got
give
Final Fantasy Witcher.
Yeah, and even Final Fantasy 15 didn't have as deep an ethos as The Witcher did, and man, I just think back to all the like key points in the story that kind of were just so shocking to me that they put, like, there's a point with the Red Baron in that game. He's one of the early acquaintances you meet, and you need to get information from him to find Ciri, and that's pretty much the crux of the game. You're trying to find Ciri, so you go through him, and you start to learn more about him and what his past is like, and he tells you about his wife and how he had a child, and this child died somehow, and you don't really know, and you're kind of unraveling the mystery like a medieval Batman. And eventually you find out that he killed his child.
Oh.
And
you have to find that out, huh?
So that then you have to exorcise that child, because that child is a malformed mutant demon thing now, because it died in a heinous way.
Interesting.
It just went, and the way that they showed that, it was like this fetus was just crawling, it's this long tongue, it's like really gross and like graphic, and that type of imagery, like all the monsters in it are just so viscerally gross and wet looking, and the world is so deep with and saturated with such great character that I can't pick another game for game of the decade for me. And I think a lot of people would agree with me that really love open world RPGs, because that's just a gemstone of one.
That's fair.
So yeah, those are dang good games of the decade.
Dude, damn good games of the decade.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this decade, man. It's already going to be kicking off with quite a hell of a...
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of really crazy good games.
I think that Cyberpunk has a really good chance of me talking about it in 10 years.
There's only one way to find out.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. But yeah, there's not much for news this week.
Yeah.
We can kind of like rattle off some things that we just scrolled through the news. That I guess there was some leaks for the Final Fantasy VII demo. I guess they're coming out with that. It's got to be soon, like probably February.
I mean, it would make sense if they stuck it in there, but at the same time, I could see if they decided they wanted to wait.
Well, the game comes out in March, so it doesn't really have a whole lot of timeline left.
Oh, for the actual demo itself? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
usually a month, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't quite. Well, the last demo that we got for a Final Fantasy game was the Dusky demo for 15, and that came out like 6 to 8 months before the game because the game ended up getting delayed.
Right.
So
probably because of the demo.
Yeah, man.
The statistics off of it, or
apparently there's a lot of spoilers and whatnot involved with all those leaks that I haven't really looked into because I don't want any of that. But from the inklings that I've heard, there's going to be some story beat changes, which makes sense because the world's going to be far more realized, and I'm sure like side characters are going to have more importance in the plot of the game. But yeah, other than that, what was that? We saw the Half-Life. No.
Portal.
Portal, yeah. Portal had a prequel that got canceled.
Yeah, the Portal prequel that got canceled.
They finally showed some information on it.
Yeah, there was an article on it. I read a little bit of it. It didn't really seem like there was enough information to really even know too much about, other than the fact that like people are kind of just guessing about like what could be next. I mean, Valve hasn't made a game in 8 years or 9 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time,
and then out of nowhere they were just like 2 games.
Yeah.
Although their Half-Life 3 does look really, really interesting. I think it'll probably a lot of people that were into Half-Life and have been speculating Half-Life 3 for this long, if they don't already have a VR setup, we'll get a VR setup.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a VR, the HTC Vive seller.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever, Oculus, any of those that have been struggling, those VR systems that it's coming to, obviously that's going to be a big deal. Oh wait, no, actually, isn't it going to be an exclusive? I think it was going to be an Oculus exclusive. I think it was an Oculus exclusive.
Whichever one.
Sorry, Vive.
Whichever one Steam owns.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that's the Oculus or the HTC, but it's whichever one they own is the one.
I think it's the Oculus.
I'm pretty sure it's the Oculus. I think Samsung owns the HTC.
Mm.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Samsung.
Yeah. Were you a Portal guy? Did you play Portal?
I did not play Portal.
Yeah, I never played Portal either, but I have a few friends that swear by it.
Portal? Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that really enjoyed Portal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not my game. I'm not a puzzle game guy. I'm like you need to give me something to do and something to kind of like go into.
I think that when puzzles are like implemented inside the game, like that where they make sense, not like the whole game is just, hey, do this Sudoku puzzle. It's like, that's not me, man. I don't know. But yeah, if they're like thrown in there like they are in like Tomb Raider or Legend of Zelda, you know, those little like rinky-dink puzzles that you have to do. Those are always fun, but any kind of brain buster is just like, oh man, you get frustrated and you're like, do I really want to just sit here and like pound my head against the wall? And
no. The answer is no.
Then you're like, oh, should I look it up on YouTube? And I'm like, if I have to look it up on YouTube, am I good enough? Am I even
playing the game? Like come on.
Should I even be allowed?
So I do know that you'll be getting a gaming computer.
Yeah.
It'll just cost $5,000, but it will have the Mac symbol on it, right? Like that's good for you, right?
Well, apparently it's not going to have the bite out of the apple anymore.
Yeah, that's what
It's going to be a full apple.
It's going to be a full apple.
I'm fucking around. I don't know. Finally, they're taking a step into the gaming PC realm. It just sucks that it has to be at such a high price.
I mean, it's Apple.
I imagine that if they're going to do a gaming PC, it's going to be done the Apple way, which is like very clean, very simple, very straightforward. Everything's going to be very laid out for the people that know Apple and know that infrastructure.
So the big issue here is definitely going to be it's not that Apple has never not been capable of playing a majority of games, in the sense of like they use NVIDIA graphics cards. They've been known to use Intel chips. It's not like they haven't had the power to be able to do these things. It's the compatibility, man.
Yeah.
The compatibility has just been such an issue. So I wonder if they're going to try and like do something with compatibility that will change it, or something, you know, like I just don't know quite enough about it yet, but I'm really interested to see if there's a change on their end to create more compatibility, or how they're going to create more compatibility in the system itself.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm so interested to see what they're going to be doing with that. And that, I mean, that's a good podcast beat in itself. We could talk about that for a little bit longer, but I think that's probably going to be it for this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was a good little episode we had here. You know, just kick off the year. We're a little slow rolling, but these next few months are going to get pretty fucking busy.
Yeah, man.
Pretty fucking quick.
Once games start coming out, I know, I don't know what's coming out next week. Probably Air, but in 2 weeks, Kakarot's coming out. So stay tuned for the Kakarot talk.
Yeah, and we'll probably have some more people on here throughout the next few months, just throwing people in. We've asked a few people to come on for some special episodes. You remember Anthony from the Pokemon episode. He'll be back for the Final Fantasy VII pre-show, whenever that is. It'd probably be the week before that release.
Yeah, I mean,
unless the demo just splashes this week, and then we're going to have a whole load of shit to talk about, I'm sure.
It's true.
But almost forgot. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, please. There's only 17 of you out there, but I know some of you love us.
17?
Yeah, we got
another one.
Yeah, we're gaining
man.
ground on you guys. We're gonna be taking over soon. But until then, peace.